There were a couple of issues with this report and these guidelines. Number one, they did not come from OB-GYNs. And this was an example, in my opinion, of stay in your lane. Okay, these were not board-certified women's health specialists. They just evaluated the data. They looked at a very specific angle, which was, does the pelvic exam pick up cancer? And they found, guess what? It's not such a good test for that. But in gynecology, you know, Rach, because you do this exam in your office as well, we look for a lot of other issues with the pelvic exam. And the problem with these guidelines is that it sent the message, you don't need to go to your GYN every year. If a woman is having pelvic pain and she's having pain with sex, that woman needs a pelvic exam.
And that's why I wanted to touch upon that, because if a woman hears these guidelines and ends up in the emergency department with pelvic or abdominal pain, and the doctor says, we need to do a pelvic exam, and she's like, no, I heard these guidelines.
She's like, I just had one last week.
Right.
That doctor's doing what they need to do, and pelvic exams happen a lot in the emergency department, as you mentioned, because it can provide a lot of invaluable data.
That's right. And here's the part of this story which you probably didn't hear about in its coverage in the media that really burned me up. The authors of this study cited the following reasons for not doing this exam on the average woman. It causes fear, anxiety, shame. That is the most paternalistic viewpoint to have. I think, guess what? Women have a mouth. They can speak for themselves. Those feelings are not one for a governing body to say, what are we, back in the 30s? Oh, little woman, she's going to be nervous, so I'm not going to do it. If you have concerns about this exam, you should bring those up with your healthcare provider and not let someone assume you're anxious. And I think that the take-home for women who heard this story is communicate with your healthcare provider. Understand that when we as gynecologists do a pelvic or do a well-woman checkup, we're looking, we're palpating, we're examining a lot more than just with our hands. We actually visualize the cervix and the whole lower genital tract. And there are reasons to do it, and there are reasons to not do it. And medicine is not cookie cutter.
At the end of the day, you really have to talk to your physician. Your physician knows your family history, and she knows your history to decide how often you need these tests done.
Right.
Very well.
So, you've heard it here.
Hey, I'm Dr. Travis Stork. Press here to subscribe to the doctor's YouTube channel, and press here to help reduce tension.